Physically, I'm in India, but mentally, I'm in Burke. Hi everyone, my name is Sasha and you're watching Kitabe, and today I will be doing the media book freakout tag in September. I know it's 2 months too late, but we're going to go with it because I really like this tag. I think it is a very innovative tag which kind of like makes you retrospect your reading and just kind of analyze what I have read so far, which is why I'm doing it. And my main source of tracking my reading or the books that I've read or the books that I want to read is Goodreads. I did a tag on it. I love it so much. Majorly I use it because I am very bad at maintaining a physical book journal. It just hasn't ever worked for me. I still have one and it is completely empty. I never write in it, and the reason for that I think is Goodreads, because I rely on it so much that I don't think that I need to write all the books down or even write the reviews down, because I have Bookstagram for that. So I write my reviews there. I track my books on Goodreads. So really there's no need for me to maintain a book journal, but I want to, but I know it's never going to happen. So yeah, so according to Goodreads, I am in June I had read up till 25 books. My goal was to read 47, and there's no reason for that as well. I had read 46 books last year, so now I want to read 47, and that's it. So according to that, I had read 25 books, and I will be mentioning here the stats, like how many fiction I read, how many non-fiction, how many graphic novels, and blah 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 blah. So on to the prompts. First one is best book you've read so far. Now I read couple of nice books. I think more than a couple of nice books. All my books were lovely, but I didn't have like that personal attachment to any sort of book. I think I don't know the reason for that, but I had fun with the books that I've read, but it's just that I didn't feel personally connected to any of them. Like in a literary sense, I think they were amazing, but for me on a personal level, I liked them, but that final touch that I wanted was not there. However, I did give 5 stars to 4 books, and that is Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wong. It's a graphic novel. Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, again a graphic novel. And the third one is I Have Never Been Unhappier by Shaheen Bhatt. It's a non-fiction. It's a memoir in a way about her depression, about her struggles, and I absolutely loved it. I think she writes wonderfully, and I just loved it. And fourth one is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This book was amazing. It was beautiful. It was intense. I was crying on the metro while reading this. I read it as an ebook, and the book is so intense. It is about a couple who are not successful in having a baby. So it's about the struggles, it's about infertility, it's about how their marriage kind of changes. It is just, I loved it. I think I have never read a book about marriage so specifically, but I wouldn't recommend it to any young adult people who might be watching this video, because it's very intense and it talks about marriage, and it's just, you don't need this kind of sadness in your life, okay? It's a very sad book. It's a very beautiful book, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's completely for adult people, for adult stuff. Second prompt is best sequel I've read this year, and that is undeniably The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I don't particularly read sequels. I'm not much into series. I usually prefer standalones because that sort of commitment is just not within me. I have a lot of series that I've started and they just started. They're not finished. So, why do I love Upside of Unrequited? it's just so freaking adorable. It is a very cute love story between a girl called Molly and her to-be boyfriend. I forgot his name as usual, and it's just so adorable. It's about twins, or is it about twins? It is about twins. It's about twins, Molly and her sister. I also forgot her name. And it's how they navigate their high school life. And her sister is very outgoing. She is very out there. She has lived multiple. She has been in multiple relationships and yada yada yada. And Molly has never been in love. I mean, she has been in love, but she's had several crushes, around 20 crushes in her entire lifetime, but she's never done anything about them, and that is her life story. And that's it. That's all there is to it, really. I mean, I know I make it sound very bland, but it is really cute. It is adorable. I am in love with Molly. I think she is a very great character, and it's if you don't know, it's in the Simonverse series. From the first one is Homo sapiens versus Simon versus Homo sapiens agenda, or Homo sapiens agenda versus Simon, something like that. And this is the third, I think, or second. I get confused. I mean, I read Leon the Offbeat as well, but I did not like that one. We shall not talk about it. New release you haven't read yet but want to. I don't keep up with new releases, but there have been two novels that just is popping everywhere in my feed, and that is Felix Ever After and Beach Read. I think these are really cute books. I think these are books that I will be enjoying. From the blurbs that I have read, Felix is about a trans person, and Beach Read is about two writers. That's all I know. I'm sorry. And fourth one is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. As I said, I don't keep up with new releases, but I think the third book of the Children of Blood and Bone series is going to be releasing in December, or that's when it usually releases. I don't know when it will be releasing in India. And I have the first two books which I intend to read this year itself. And why do I want to read them is because I bought the first book, and then my roommates loved it, and they're not both, and both of them are not readers. Okay, this is the first book. At least one of them read it for the first time. I think this is the first book that she has ever completed. I know. And the second one also loved it, and if a non-reader loves it as much as they did, I think I will also love it. I hopefully will. And the second one, I also have it, so I will be reading it as soon as the third book releases, I think. So yes. Biggest disappointment of the year, and I think that is definitely The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp. It was one of my favorite movies when I saw it years and years ago. I think I fell in love with Miles Teller when I saw the movie, and I also like Shailene Woodley. So when this book was really highly anticipated for me, and I bought it obviously, and then I did not read it obviously. So I read it this year because it has been on my physical TBR for the longest time. So I was like, let's just get it over with. And I read it, and it was terrible. It was horrible. It was just not me. I think it was just trying to be The Catcher in the Rye, and it just was not successful. And I did not even like Catcher in the Rye that much. Also, I mean, I liked it, but again, so yeah, this was the biggest disappointment. Biggest surprise that I've read this year, and that is My Absolute Darling by Gabriel Talent. This was one of those books that I bought on a whim on Amazon. I think it was in the editor picks of the month. I think it was on that list, and that is why I think I bought it. And again, I bought it, and then I did not read it for years. So when I did read it, blurb was very vague, so I was not sure what I was walking into, but it was not what I expected. And basically it's a thriller novel. I think it's a mystery thriller somewhere, and it was very good. I think Gabriel is a very talented writer. It was his debut book, and he definitely showed that he has a very well command of over his prose, and it is a story. Okay, I will tell you about the plot. I forgot. And the plot is that the main character, I think her name is Turtle. Okay, yeah. So the main character's name is Turtle. She is around 14, 15, I think, and she has been living with her father. There is no mother. The mother has died mysteriously. At least Turtle doesn't know how her mother died, and or Turtle doesn't remember how her mother died, and her father tells her some story which I find very dubious, and I do not believe in that story that he gave to Turtle. But yes, so there is just her father and her living in a very secluded area. I think it is surrounded by farm. I wasn't I don't know where the story was placed. I think I mean I'm pretty sure it was mentioned somewhere, but I just did not get that where it was. So yeah. So the story is basically about her father and her relationship, and very gradually we come to understand the nature of it, and it is not what I expected or anticipated at all. I think it's very gruesome. It is very brutal. It is very not it is not very easy to read. I think if you one of the things that I think that I did not appreciate was that there were no trigger warnings anywhere, and I think for a book like this a trigger warning is definitely needed, because it is very graphic, it is very detailed, and I don't think any person should read this book and I know it gives off and I know why people generally don't like to give trigger warnings, because it is kind of spoilery, but I think your spoilers are not that harmful than a person reading something and getting traumatized by it, which is what I think, and that is why trigger warnings must be mentioned in the first page or second page of a book, or even movies as well, or any kind of content that I will be consuming. I need a trigger warning to be just in that mindset, which I did not find it in this book. In fact, even the reviews that I have read of this book, the trigger warnings was just not there, which is really sad. So yeah, I think this book was very good. It was incredibly written. The story is also written well. I was very sympathetic towards Turtle. I think she was a great character. Something that I did not like was that it just I did not get sense of what Turtle was thinking. I think it is not in a first-paced narrative, so that is something that I would have liked. I think I would have liked to read her point of view as well. So that was the only complaint that I have. But other than that, I think if you're into thriller novels which are gruesome, which are brutal, and end on a good note, I think I would really recommend this to you. Favorite author or a new author that you liked, you found and liked, and that is for me is Alice Oseman. I'm really looking forward to her books. People rave about her books all the time. And second one is Shaheen Bhatt. Obviously, I am looking forward to reading more of her books if she decides to publish. And then I think that's it. I would like to add Murakami and Steinbeck as well, but I read them in July, so we will not count them. The next prompt we have is newest crush and favorite character, and that is for me Molly. I can't stop talking about her. I will not stop talking about her because nobody talks about her. Everyone talks about Simon, Bram, Blue. That is Bram, and everyone talks about Leah, Abby, but Molly is nowhere in the picture. And I know that she is not directly related to Simon. She is a cousin of Abby's, but she is a treasure. She is a treasure, and she should be talked about more. And it is just sad that people don't know about her. Everyone knows Leah on the offbeat, but nobody knows or has read Upside of Unrequited, which is just blows my mind really, and I cannot understand that. So yes, she was my favorite character. Book that made you cry. Oh my god! Like I mentioned before, that is obviously All Your Perfects. I was in Delhi when I read this book, and every day I used to read this book on the metro, and I used to cry. I used literal tears were rolling down my face when I was reading this book, and I'm like, oh my god, is anyone noticing me? So yeah, that is it. So yes, I really think this book is beautiful. Next, book that made you happy. You know the answer, okay? It is The Upside of Unrequited. I cannot tell you how happy how happy I was when I finished this book. I was like, oh my god, I like Becky Albertalli again, because I read Leon the Offbeat first, so I was highly disappointed by it, and I was like, thank god I did not buy these books, because then this one would have been a disappointment yet again. And she was saved by The Upside of Unrequited, and now I'm in love with her again, and I do look forward to reading more of her books if it's as good as Upside of Unrequited. Can you tell it's one of my favorites of this year? The next we have is most beautiful book you've bought this year, and that is The Essential Rumi. The Essential Rumi that I bought in February. I saw it on Voltaire Still's account, and I absolutely fell in love, and I was like, I need this. And since I had not bought anything in January, I was like, let's just buy one book and be done with it. So that's what I did. It's a very beautiful novel, and I've always wanted to read. It's a very beautiful cover, sorry. And I've always wanted to read Rumi, so it's a good start. I mean, I have already started reading it. I have reached about 50 or 60 pages, and I would recommend it. So the final problem that we have, I'm sad that it's ending already, but what books do you need to buy by the end of this year? And I misread it. I think I misread this problem, because the answers that I have written is books that I want to read, which I already own. So I think I'll just tell you that. And that is Children of Blood and Bone, Call Me By Your Name, Latitudes of Longing, Great Gatsby, and The Night Circus. And I've also written way too many. Basically all of my TBR, if I am able to finish all of my TBR at the end of the year, I think I will be aesthetic, and I will be very happy, obviously, like I said. And so yeah, but about books that I need to buy, I don't know. Like I said, I don't keep up with new releases, so I have no idea what books shall be releasing in the next half of the year, so I really have no answer for that. And that was it for the video. I hope you guys had fun watching it. I am kind of sad that I don't have to talk more, because I feel like talking more, but there are no questions left to answer, and that's the dilemma I'm having right now. But yes, like I said, I hope you had fun watching it, and I hope you like it. And if you, I don't know, if you like subscribing, then please do. I make videos hopefully weekly, but also occasionally. And yes, I hope I see you next time. Bye.